After Rudy tells us exactly how he wants to stand against his backdrop of strewn branches, I drop my towel. When Rudy instructs me to turn my head, I move slowly. I want this moment in life on record. After the shoot, Rudy joins us on the bus ride back to Prague. A few minutes out of town, the bus stops in front of a vast yellow field. Two boys dressed in all black and carrying guitar cases get on the bus. One of them wears a t-shirt that reads, "Fuck me, Jesus," in white block letters. Rudy stops, looks at the boy, and says, "Life is beautiful and so sincere." When Ondra returns, I invite him to dinner with friends. Jane, a woman in my nonfiction class, follows me when I go to the bathroom. "What are you going to do about that guy? He's so cute." "I don't know," I say as I lather my hands with soap. "I've got it bad." Jane is a small, pretty woman with white, short hair who is also the same age as my mother, 62 years old. She says, "Oh, isn't that the greatest feeling? There was a group of us here last year who were feeling all lusty and sexy." Her elbows are pulled in tight to her body and her hands are clenched in rocking fists as she says the words lusty and sexy. Later, after Ondra drives me home, I say goodbye, sighing, "How much longer can this go on?" In the elevator up to my room, I bump into Elise, who had also been at dinner. Like Jane, Elise is in her 60s. Without prompting, she says, "You know, men have been having affairs since the beginning of time. You're allowed to have a private life." As the elevator stops at my floor, I step out. "Remember, honey," she yells as the door is closing, "it's always better to regret the things we have done than the things we haven't." I walk down the dark maze of corridors to my room. Looking out the window, I see a sliver of bright moonlit sky. My neighbors are blaring twangy, sad country songs. I feel like I'm on a high-speed escalator, and there is no way to get off. I open the door to my room, turn on the light, and grab a notebook on the wooden shelf above my bed, the same shelf where the engagement ring now sits. I have something urgent I need to remember. "Help," I write. "You are very, very alive." That's true, actually, I did write that. It seems sort of embarrassing right now, but okay. "We are in the ring, but only I have gloves on. You must look like you want to kill me," Ondra says, holding the pads in front of his body. I shake my head. Impossible. But still, I try to look mean. We laugh and it's awkward, but I'm trying my damnedest to think about the sport. Ondra is focused on me. Really, we are focused on each other. I don't yet know that he will stroke my hair and tell me that I'm beautiful when I cry, that without emotion I would not be a woman he wants to be with. I don't yet know that we will stay in his apartment for a whole weekend taking bubble baths. I don't yet know that he will write me letters with lines like, "I want to stop for a while and hug you so strong how I can." I don't yet know that after trying to explain to Ted in so many different ways how I want to relate to my lover, that I will have this kind of instant experience with Ondra, who holds my face and kisses me. I don't know any of these things, and I'm glad, because they are not the point. What I do know is that technically I'm not free to pursue anything with Ondra, but that to honor my feelings, I have to face this mess and all my imperfections. I look at the small scar on his mouth, which I now know he got from a boxing match, and admire the character it gives his face. Before I left for Prague, I had desperately wished that I could return from my trip with a wholehearted resolve to marry my boyfriend. Now, standing in the ring, moving into punches with my whole body, I am far, so far from where I was. The space in which I live has opened, and from my life, I want only truth, the kind that travels freely from head to chest to groin and back again. I've never cheated on Ted, but somehow I feel like this, an honest feeling of lust in my body, is truer than the ring, truer than the expectation, and the circumstances of being engaged. "Come on, you can try to look mean," Ondra says. In a flash, I realize that because of my engagement, this, standing in the ring, landing punches, is the closest that our bodies may ever come to actually touching, that the sweat on his t-shirt is as much as I may ever know of him, that his lifting me off of the floor from behind to crack my back is as close as we may ever come to an embrace. And that's enough to piss me off. I swell inside, twist, and explode with a right jab. When it meets the pad, a sure, satisfied smack rings out, knockout. Ondra closes, then opens his eyes slowly. His tongue traces his upper lip. He nods his head and says, "Now that was a good sound." Thank you.